I only attended exams and I will write well and I will leave. I will still pass. But the whole thing of I stopped cooking when I started seeing money as a programmer in school. I haven't cooked since 2021, and then I buy food daily. I buy fuel. The lifestyle I already kept myself at, like, at based on my programming level. I had to still maintain it while losing money as a trader. So I was constantly losing money. When I lost that 10K, I said, okay, I have to get my money back. There's no way that I'm going to leave this trading thing until I make this money that I lost to this market. But when I lost that money, I never like had that level of okay collective wealth again. Because the first thing, the starter kit for beginner traders, I have to make money. So any money you get from whatever you get the money, deposit it and try and trade with it. That was the basic default settings for me. So if I get gigs to develop a website for someone, let's say they pay me $300. Once that money lands my account, I'm depositing into straight to my trading account. I'm losing everything. I have to now borrow money to buy domain and hosts to develop the websites for those people, pay for the PDFs, get the everything. So I'm constantly getting into debt, but I was constantly seeing money as well. Like I was seeing money constantly. I can have my monthly, as of 2022, my monthly debit can be 20 million inflow, 20 million outflow, 20 million retaining money, none. Now, it's not like I was saving money somewhere. Everything was going to trading. I was losing it. This was back in 2022. I didn't know what I was doing. No technical analysis, no nothing, nothing. I just wake up and I feel like market is going to be bullish today. I'll use 20x leverage and I'll press long on Binance. Okay, I feel like market is going to sell today. 20x leverage, I'll press short on Binance because it was crypto trading. Then around April of 2022, his name is Chima, my neighbor back in uni, in my lodge, he said he was a good trader. He used to make money from investing in shitcoins and the rest. He said he got this book, Candlestick Bible, and then he wants me to read it. That the thing is nice. So okay, no problem. I took the book from him and I read it. I read the book, Candlestick Bible. I read it like about 5 times. Now, mind you, while reading all these things, I've never traded. I did not trade the demo account. I had constant availability of funds, but I did not have constant availability of retainable funds. I always had money, but I was always losing the money to the point that they felt like I was reckless. They thought I was. My mom thought I was spending because I used to tell my people like, okay, I'm making this because I always try and send money back home every single month. There's no month that I don't send money to my people. In fact, from when I started working, to the level I started paying bills. So they knew that okay, I could send money back home. But my whole thing was as long as I've paid the bills of everyone close to me, I can have zero naira in my account and I'm going to be okay. That was my mentality then. So they felt like if I could send them 100K, 200K as of 2021, obviously, because my mom's salary was less than that. So obviously they feel like, oh, I'm making money. So they're now concerned about where the money that I make, where the money is going to, because they felt like at the end of every month, I don't really have returnable income, but I was making money. But everything was going to trading. I lost a lot of money. Do you understand? The first bulk money I lost was $10,000. I lost a lot more down the. So as I was losing to trading, I was learning from the losses. Now my mind was already getting a bit stoic to the point where the losses no longer affected me. It just felt like, oh, one of the same thing again. I will lose money, lose money, lose money, same thing. I didn't take it seriously. It was basically the addiction part of trading. Oh, let me just. In fact, I was funding to trade without actually having any profit in mind of what I just knew that. Oh, I'm addicted to this thing. Let me just put it and trade because you know how betting is there's a very thin line between trading and gambling. Once you stop trading with a plan, once you don't have a plan to your trades and everything, you are already gambling. Even if your plan is to risk 50% of your accounts and you trade and you risk that 50%, you preconceived it, you are still trading, you're not gambling. So that's why I say percentage risk does not matter. It does not make you a gambler, even if you risk high percentage. As long as you preconceive that you planned it beforehand, you are still a trader. But the moment you enter and you risk 1% on an account where you don't even have a plan of risking, you're gambling the setup because there was no plan on that trade. Do you understand? So that was how the whole 2022 ended. No money retained. My yearly statement was over $100,000. Like my inflow on my account was over. Well, back this is 20. I'm talking about 2022. 2022. You check the dollar rate. I had over 100 million naira inflow, and I had over 100 million naira outflow. I don't think dollar was up to 600 then. So that was basically making about $200,000 in a year as of back then, 2022, but losing almost everything to trading. The important thing was I feed. I don't cook in school. I always send money to my loved ones and my friends and my other things. But at the end of the month, as long as everyone is happy, I felt like I was happy. But I said, this is not really what I want for myself. I don't want to move forward with this kind of mm, mentality of everyone's happiness over mine. I have to actually think about myself and I need to actually return money. So I left Forex trading. I no prior to that, I was trading crypto. I was learning and trading crypto, but and I got robbed in school. Now, why I said some things that I do or come from experiences. Every every experience that life teaches me, I learn a lesson from it, and then I make a decree on something I can never go back on. I don't manage accounts for people. I stopped giving signals. I don't teach beginners, and I don't. The reason why I don't do a lot of things is because what life the kind of issues I faced. I was managing an account for someone trading crypto with a signal, and then I got robbed in school. Like armed people now. They came to our school back then in Uli. They broke into my flat, into our school, this thing with guns. There were about two or three. And then they cleared everything. My laptop, my phone, everything. There were about three phones or four phones taken, my laptops, everything. And then the people I was managing accounts for, I lost their money because I could not close out the positions. And then when I went back home, I had to go deep into my savings that I had. You know, this first bank kiddies account, we used to put money in the account every month, 2,000. 3,000. So I had savings there. When I came back home, I took the money out and then bought a new phone, logged into my Binance, all the money was wiped out. When I came, the only concern for those people was the money I was managing for them. What happened to me was not really their problem. So I said, I paid everybody the money, but I said I'm never going to manage another account for anyone again.